What is up? Laced Up Show episode 12 at the Young AG and at the Garrett Climber. First off, the show will be about outlets, but kind of getting into everything that released this week. Ton of stuff released. Got to actually pull it up here because there was so much. The Feig Diadoras, what'd you think about those, man? Did you like them?
Super Flames, man. Feig, he always does this thing. Wasn't that always stands out to me for him? Of course, you're gonna call me a hype beast, but the What the Feigs, of course, with the Gel 3s that he did. That salmon toe. I see some of that action in the Diadoras that he did. I love that. I think they're Super Flames. I mean, definitely a cop.
Yeah, totally. The only problem with Feig normally, and I don't know if it's something to complain about, but the price tag.
Yeah,
And
the price tag.
If you can find them for retail, but it's just hard to find them for retail right now. I'm sure that'll change. But as of right now, I think that's pretty difficult. Gold medal fives. What do you think, man? I actually liked them this time. I'm not a big five fan, but I liked them.
See, I am a Five fan, but I didn't like those very much. The gold on the tongue just kind of threw it off for me. I was like, I just feel like they're kind of trying to force the whole gold medal thing a little bit right now.
See, and this sounds weird, but I think if you switch maybe black laces, I think it'd look better.
Think so?
I think you have to lace swap. I think it's too much white. Oh my gosh, all the NMDs.
Okay.
How many colorways?
There was 20, 19, 21, something like that.
Yeah, insane. And not to mention everywhere. Karmaloop. Everywhere. And you know what the best thing about it is? Somehow Adidas is maintaining their value, the NMD's value, for now at least. But resale has actually gone down a lot. Resale is not crazy.
Well, still, if you're paying, like we've said in prior episodes, if you're paying over retail for NMDs, you're retarded. Because you can buy them anywhere for retail. I mean, you're not going to get those Paris exclusives of the Japans or nothing like that. But I mean, just a general run-of-the-mill NMD you can cop for your local Finish Line or Champs or somewhere. Even I've seen some Hibbett Sports House at some point. I mean, NMDs are definitely popping up everywhere.
Absolutely, and that's the thing is after you wait the few days, because I know a lot of times they're listed as release products, so Foot Locker and Champs won't let you use a coupon. Can use that coupon now. So I mean it's a cheap boost shoe. I still prefer the Ultra Boost as a silhouette and as a fit. But not bad, and it's good for people, and I think it's exposing more people to Boost, and I think that's never a bad thing.
Quick comment on the NMDs though, because I do have the all white pairs. You guys know. I do have one complaint on them though, and it's something stupid. I probably just got the wrong size, which I know I did. I got them too big, but whatever. The back tab on the heel, it rubs the crap out of my ankle, right? And there's blood in my NMDs from blisters. They're bleeding, man.
10.5, man. And
I know.
And this is gonna.
I got the 11.
This is gonna sound weird, but normally I wear 10.5. I would rather go 9.5 in those, or I would go women's 11. For some reason, and I don't have a super wide foot, but for some reason, I do generally have a wide foot when it comes to fitting sneakers and things. It just fits weird on my foot, the men's size 10. I don't know why, which is good because that's what I was going to buy when I was looking at getting some. And I tried them on the other day, and I was like, fam, what's up? And I think that kind of harks back to what we were talking about last week. Adidas needs to get it together fit-wise. Garrett and I were actually in a store 2 weeks ago. We tried on a women's 9, and we were like, yo, we're going to just mess around because this is the tan ones. And we're like, yo, I need the tan ones.
They were so super sexy.
It's so sexy. And they weirdly almost.
Yeah, like that 10? That 10 would have been comfortable.
Oh, yeah, a true 10 and a true 10.5 and a women's 9 almost fit. And I know what you guys are saying. You're like, you're retarded. It was men's. No, it was definitely women's. I don't know what's going on in regards to that. They need to get it together. That said, we're kind of going to jump right into outlets and things like that. No, we're not. We need to cover the Olympics. The Olympics are
gold
over
medal today.
Right, USA men's basketball. I thought it was funny, sneaker related. Did you see the promotional picture for U.S. men's basketball?
I saw the one with their gold medals and they're all rocking those Bolt Flyknits. I saw that one.
See, there's a couple players on the basketball team that aren't Jordan or Nike brand. One's going to be Klay Thompson,
Yeah.
and who else? Who else is there? The other one's slipping my mind.
Oh, Kyle Lowry, is he Nike?
Adidas. There you go. Kyle Lowry and Klay Thompson. And in the picture, you see the picture. And here, let me see if I can find that for you.
Because I saw that earlier today. I'll see if I can find it too real quick.
But basically, Nike pushes the players to the back that aren't wearing Nike, so they can use them for promotional things and things of that nature. How impressive was that? How forward thinking is that?
It's pretty forward. Okay, I just got on my Instagram to find that picture, and I found size 10.5. The older Cherry 11s with the red sole on those, which is the grail of mine, size 10.5, cash or trade.
There you go.
So I'm throwing that out there right now. That's cool.
Trade for it, but I can't find it right now. But anyway, basically what they do is it's just funny how they push the players to the back that aren't wearing Nike and things like that. And the funny thing was, I think Under Armour and Adidas, at the end of the day, both beat Nike in overall medal, didn't they? I think I read that somewhere.
I haven't looked at that at all. I have no idea. I haven't had a chance to the last few days.
Oh, my goodness. The Olympics are amazing. I wish the Olympics was every year. I love the Olympics. I'm hoping they come to Los Angeles. Would love to go that in 2024.
It's confirmed they're coming for the next one, LA.
I didn't see the confirmation. I just saw the promotional packet, and I didn't know if they had changed that yet. But I know I saw the promotional packet of that they them trying to.
I believe I saw confirmation. Don't quote me. I think I did see confirmation because I remember them talking about it. I was watching volleyball wherever the other day, and they were talking about the next Olympics and talking about U.S. having home court in the next one or something like that. And I was like, whoa. And they brought up Los Angeles, and I was like, oh, dang, cool.
Yeah, well, 2020 we've got Tokyo.
Yeah, so, Tokyo for the next one.
That's gonna be dope. I think. I think that'll be awesome.
That'll be cool. That'll be really cool for Japan.
Yeah, it's not announced yet. It'll be announced in 2017, bro.
Okay.
So, but I love the Olympics. I love just the competition. I love seeing the crazy sneakers. A lot of times you see the same ones. But for me, it's much more interesting watching athletes outside of, because you get a lot of peeks of what athletes wear outside of just their competitions and things. Which
is more athletic clothes. Hashtag USA Basketball.
Right. You got Simone Manuel wearing the Gold 5s that just came out. You've got tons of athletes wearing everything, and I think that's super dope. I think it's a perspective thing that you kind of see these people competing on the highest level, and they're still wearing the products that you guys are wearing. You'll see Adidas athletes wearing NMDs and Ultra Boost. You'll see Nike athletes wearing the latest Nike collabs or Jordan releases and things like that, and I think that's super dope.
Yeah, that is really cool, man. I like that you touched on that. I mean, the Olympics, I feel like, gives brands a chance to shine. Because I'm going to throw it back real quick to the 2012 Olympics. Because I remember the USA team, she was the Hyperdunk 2012, which is super innovative. It was the first Hyperdunk, I think it was the first Nike basketball to introduce a full-length lunar lawn, opposed to the Zoom, which it normally contained. Also had that exposed flyer wire on it, too. The USA basketball team was wearing that shoe in the gold medal game. Players rolled out their shoes for the year. Like LeBron debuted the 10s, and that was his chance to say, hey, this is what we got. This is what's coming, right? And also they put out different, like the Flyknit Racer and the Flyknit trainers and stuff like that have made their debut during the Olympics as well. So I feel like it's really a chance for brands to kind of display what's coming on a world stage,
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm disappointed they didn't include some shoes more in that. I didn't really see a ton of Lunar Epics. I don't know if it's because I wasn't looking hard or I just didn't see a ton of Tubular Dooms, which I really wish I had saw. Surprisingly, I didn't see any crazy Neymar Jordan stuff. And like I said, I wasn't looking too hard. I just kind of like enjoyed the competition and things like that. But I was looking, and I just didn't see any of that. We may see some more later because you don't see the athletes 24/7. You know, more pictures come out later and everything. But overall, I think it was a super dope Olympics. It wasn't as bad as I thought. You did have the Ryan Lochte stuff, which is hilarious.
Historical Olympics, I feel like.
It wasn't bad.
I feel like as far as like accomplishment wise, there's a really historical Olympics because there's a lot of really awesome stuff that happened. Like Phelps is just stacking them still. Bolt's still doing anything. He's having fun. He's just cruising, turning, smiling at people while he's running. He's having fun. You see the athletes having fun and doing what they love on a world stage, just for the sheer competition.
Oh my goodness, Katie Ledecky. That was probably my favorite picture of the Olympics. Is when you see the pan view when they pan over the swimming pool, and it shows like the competitors in the lanes, and she's just by herself, and you don't see anyone else. And then they back to it, and she's way ahead, and you still don't see anyone else. That was the crazy part to me. And I read something where she owns like 7 of the top records in the longer distances, and like the top 7 like times are all hers. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's just crazy. You had a largely successful African American portion for the United States. Simone Manuel and Simone Biles, who I mentioned earlier, great representing the United States. The United States did surpass their medal count by Vegas. Vegas over-under for gold medals was 41.5. And I think the U.S. ended at 45. I'd have to look. Last time I checked, they were at 43, and I know men's basketball won. And I think another one won today.
And also the women, you know, they're getting the W coming up. Looking forward to that game.
Absolutely. Also, we've got to touch on. Did you see the Mongolian coaches in their protest?
I did not. I didn't hear about that either. I've been super out of the loop lately, though.
This is so lit, guys. So I guess Mongolia wrestler loses his the third place bronze medal match, right? So these coaches run out onto the floor, right, and legit start taking off their clothes.
My dad was talking about that. I remember talking about that.
Had to be escorted out. From now on, that is my new lit response to being snubbed, is just taking off my clothes. That is so lit to me. That is the dopest thing from an outside country perspective for me. That was the dopest thing any other country, for anyone at the Olympics, did from any other country. That was just hilarious to me, man.
That's hilarious. Like, oh my god. Like, I'm not familiar with their customs. You don't expect me to, being from Shawnee, America. But I mean, I don't know what kind of customs that country has or whatever, but that's super odd. But it is super hilarious too. I could totally see you doing that also.
Oh yeah, I totally would, 100%. That allows us to kind of transition into, I guess we'll just stop immediately and transition into outlets. Basically, how outlets work and things like that. But first, we're going to start off. What's the best outlet find you've ever heard of, Garrett?
Best that I've ever heard of? Crap. We've heard of crazy stuff at outlets. I mean, I remember, shout out to Hess Kicks. I mean, Hess Kicks is my dude, really influential when I first got into the game. I always watch his outlet videos, and they make me so freaking mad. It's like, God, I have $80. Why can't I be there? Because they have all these crazy steals for super cheap. But I remember when the Columbia Force dropped, those showed up on the hash wall, and you could get 30% off. Like, the person returned a pair or whatever, and they put them there. Also, French Blue 12s, I've seen those in Hess's videos. Just a bunch of crazy stuff I've seen on there.
Yeah, but Hess has the benefit. I want to interrupt real quick. Hess has the benefit of being the best outlet space in America, right? We would agree.
Yeah.
Because you've got the Adidas and the Nike in Portland, right? And I believe Under Armour as well. But Nike's headquartered in Oregon.
Under Armour's Maryland.
Well, but they built one in Portland, I believe.
Tool.
I know, right? But in like the hotbed of samples of athletes getting samples. We all see the Oregon PEs. And I'm not saying it's an unfair advantage, but it's a little misleading when it comes to normal outlets, you know?
Yeah, I'll talk about some stuff that I've seen regular outlets. I mean, Oklahoma City, we got our outlet mall a few years ago, and it's super dope. I love it. It's lit. I've seen the comp seeing those for 180, then with 3%. I remember seeing just a plethora of KDs and LeBrons throughout the years. One of my first trips to the outlet, actually, I copped some Kobe 6s, size 10, throwback to freshman year Garrett. Definitely Kobe 6s, copped those for $60. The whole wall was filled with them. I should have bought 5 pairs of them, but I didn't because I'm dumb. But random stuff, you know? You do see some gyms every now and then.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think people just think when they think outlets, they think Nike, and that's a bad idea. Think Adidas, think Vans. Think
Vans outlet's super lit because I have the buy one get one half off, and it works on the back wall too. When I already have like an extra 20 or 30 on it, then you get the BOGO on it. Oh my God, you're getting Vans for like $12.
Yeah, I've got to think about the Reeboks too, because Reeboks have been doing terrible. So we've seen Reebok will do the buy two get one free, and I've seen the Reebok Big Hurt, the Frank Thomas trainer from the '90s, $49.99. I've seen other great shoes, the Reebok Questions, Shaqnosis, all those crazy shoes, and we've just got to remember that just don't necessarily stick to Nike. But as far as Nike goes, in the pinnacles there, you see a few other occasional things, such as you'll see Jordan Retros there. Most recently was go drop significantly, right? And
I've seen the Nothing But Nets with the Aquas. They've been there for like 120, 130.
Absolutely. I guarantee you we're fixing to see a lot of the Jordan 10 City Pack that just released. I guarantee you, if they're not there already, they'll be there very soon. And just other things like that. And I don't want to dissuade anyone from purchasing at retail or purchasing right away. But especially there, I would say it's changing a little bit because you got like the lower price on the LeBrons, the KDs, and things like that. But I still don't think you should spend retail on a Nike signature basketball shoe quite yet.
Yeah, because a lot of mine, like, I'm balling on that budget. You guys all know that. But different things I picked up there. Of course, I mentioned the Kobe 6. I mean, is what it is. Kobe 6, $60. Also, KD7 Weathermans. I got those right after they dropped when they were still hype around them. I thought they were going to be like the Weatherman 4s, like super crazy hype. And I was able to cop those for $80. And I thought I was the coolest dude ever. But, I mean, definitely the signature shoes are always there. You can always find some on the hash wall. Pretty good sizing, I'd say. And definitely signature. I agree. The only thing you won't find around here is Kobe's or Kyrie's.
Yeah, and Kyrie's have been hard to find at the outlet, so I think they've been doing pretty well. They're doing well at that 120, 130 point. And like I said, that may change once we see the Kobe, the KD 9 and kind of 150 and around that price point. They may stay around that point a little longer than they have stayed around the 180, 200 point in the past. But that said, another great thing you can find at outlets is Nike IDs, and I don't think people realize that.
I've not found any, but I'm not really looking like that, though.
Yeah, totally, and I understand that, but the best place to look for those is because I think only specific outlets have them, is, and this is a place to look for anything, is when you walk into a Nike outlet, they kind of have a long register area because they have a lot of checkout lines.
Yes.
Take a peek back there. See what people have returned.
Yeah, because I actually have a story real quick. Though you mentioned that on my last trip to the outlet, I copped those. I copped some Flyknits or whatever, $40. You know how I do. But there's a pair of stock darts, and they were so sexy smashed. There was those gray ones that you tried copping from Sneaks and stuff a while back. They had those, and they were retail price. And they said, we can order them, and we'll honor the 30% if you want to go ahead and buy them. I didn't do it because I'm dumb. But I think that transition to our next topic of as calling the Nike store and placing orders and stuff that they can do for you. They can throw you such giant oops down there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're gonna think the bigger Nike outlets in terms of that, but you can call them. Shipping's normally $10. I'm sure it does depend on where you're at, but all the shipping I've dealt with is $10 or somewhere around that range. Really reasonable. You can ask. Make sure you ask. 30% off. Is it 30% off? Is it on the hash wall? And even if it's not, they may be like, I don't know, but I'll go ahead and give it to them. That's one thing where Nike, as big as a company they are, they do succeed very well with customer service.
Their customer service is really good. I agree with that. I mean, they're there to help you 100%. And it is really self-service as far as like you can grab shoes and try them on, like I mentioned in the last episode. But the customer service there is super good most of the time. I mean, you do get some people, sometimes it's just not the most fantastic. But I've really talked to some really dope people there. I was able to throw my sister some oops to get her into the Flyknit fam and stuff like that. Yeah, the guy in the sock darts trying to throw me that oop. I mean, whatever help in his sales. I mean, he was trying to help mine, really. He was trying to get me a dope pair of shoes for under retail. And I wasn't balling at the time whenever I went up there, but right now, I mean, 30% off, I probably would have done that, man, for the dope colorway that they were. The maroon, I don't really remember. My touch with Camden on that to get confirmation next episode. I'll let you guys know. But yeah, definitely the customer service is there for you, and they're usually super dope people. Because Nike's super dope. You don't have to wear uniforms, just wear Nike. I do it every day. I'd be happy working there.
Yeah, right. And you got to think of the discount and things like that.
Oh my God, I'd be broke.
Right. But in general, the outlets are there, and they're pretty easy to flourish on. If you see something and don't know what it is, well, I'm going to tell you something I always look for. It's a light orange. Sometimes they'll be red boxes, but most of the time they're orange boxes. They have a white label. It's just a basic white label. I'm sure I have one here somewhere. I just don't want to run in there and get it. But it'll print.
I have one. I'll grab one real quick.
You have a sample box?
It's not a sample box. Ooh, it might be. I don't know. I'll grab it.
Okay. But it basically will
label.
say, and they'll ring up $21.99, and then they'll have summer and winter samples and things like that. I just got some of the Zoom cages. They're not my favorite shoe, but they're comfortable. And for $21.99, I mean, you can't beat that price. I mean, that's just crazy. The only problem with samples is you're going to come in the normal sample size, which basic sample size is normally 9, 10, and I think there's a couple higher ones. But those are the only ones I personally worry about. Because, to be honest, 9's going to be the one you see the most of. I don't know why. That'd be an interesting thing to research for a future show. But 9's going to be the one you see the most of. And that's just in regards to what you'll see at a Nike outlet. I believe I shared a story with you guys in the past where it was the Nike, the sherbet-looking, the Lunar Force ones from the summer 2014, I believe. And I found the sample size 9. It didn't fit. I was super distraught, everything like that.
Okay, I don't think it's not a sample label, but this is the label that I thought of that I had. It was like this one here.
Yeah, they also have those. And those mean basically they either lost a box or box was damaged, things like that. But both of those labels are something you look for because those are where you can find the most deals. Those are where people tend not to look. Also, don't forget to, like Garrett mentioned last show, ask them if they have your size. They go diddly-doop on their scanner and boom, it searches.
Diddly-doop, that's right.
And they can just bring it out to you or whatever. And I think they can also see if they have it in any other store. And also take advantage of Twitter. Tweet at Nike. If you ask them for a specific shoe, I believe they'll even give you the name of the store and send you a phone number.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like like he said, you'd call them up, it's like, hey, do you have these or whatever. I mean, when I was searching for the Palmers or whatever, I know they've been showing up at outlets. I called Oklahoma City, told them the color code. They're like, we do not have these shoes. They probably thought I was stupid, but I tried. You never
Yeah,
know.
totally.
That effort
I mean, what's
counts.
the worst you can say is no, and I mean, knows you're developing relationships with those people, and they'll be more likely to throw you oops in the future. And a relationship with a Nike person is a great relationship to have. You know.
Yeah, that's right. I wish I was a Nike person.
You never know someday.
Someday I'll try it.
But that kind of summary of outlets. And we did kind of touch on something that I love very much, and I don't think we've touched on much in the past, and that's kind of like samples and how samples work. So I think we should next episode just kind of talk about samples and kind of explain what samples are, where
They're
they come
flames.
from. A lot of times it's flames, how limited samples may be. So I think next episode is going to be on samples.
Yeah,
Sound good, Gary Bear?
sounds good, man.
To be here a little earlier next week, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. That said, you guys have a great week. What do we have coming out this week? Anything dope? I haven't, to be honest, I haven't been following releases very much. I've just been trying
I have
to
no idea.
dump some shoes, man. KD9 gold medals, a couple Kyries, Lunar Epic. The Saturday we got the Bean Gordon foams, the all blue with the blue, the royal with the blue bottom,
Yeah.
and then we also got the Jordan 11 lows next weekend as well.
Then the bread's the following week.
Then the bread's the following week, September 3rd. A lot of dope stuff coming out, guys. I'll tell you this. I've seen the Kyrie 2 Summer Pack in person. It is flames. I haven't seen the Kobe. I love the Kobe. I haven't seen the KD. I kind of like the KD. But the Kyrie is flames. Straight flames, decent materials, infrared hits. I wish they'd kind of use that teal that I'm seeing on the Kobe. I wish they'd kind of use that. But here's these guys, if you guys haven't seen these yet. But it's basically just like a summer theme. So you kind of got the muted colors, the gum bottom, and then you got the care. They're just kind of muted colors, the gum bottom, a couple Miami colors on the Kobe. We've also got something revolutionary coming out, and I haven't mentioned this, but we can kind of touch on it more next episode. We've got the Rocher 2, and I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but it's basically like a slip-on. So we'll see how it goes. I think price point is $90, so it's a little more expensive than the current ones. It'll be interesting to me to see how this holds up to the NMDs and kind of the other lower-end options, such as the Alpha Bounce that Adidas has, how it holds up to that.
Oh my god. Are you comparing like the Rocher to like the Alpha Bounce and NMD?
I mean, that's the Adidas option, right?
I guess so, yeah.
So, I mean, it's only a $10 difference. If you had to choose between the Rocher 2 and the Alpha Bounce, what would you choose?
Alpha Bounce.
Alpha Bounce, 100%. On that note, Adidas killing the game. We will see you guys next week at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time talking about samples. This has been the Lace Up Show, episode 12 with at the Garrett Clymer and at the Young AG. At GH Clymer on Twitter. My handle's the same on Twitter. That's all, folks.
See you guys.